Greetings, everyone, and welcome. I'm the Chancellor Soul, Mike Boone. You tune in to another edition of Soul Facts, a show highlighting the history and music of legendary artists and preserving their legacies. In this edition features a lady who helped put a founding label on the map and sparked a national dance craze that became one of the all-time great dance records. Soul Facts Spotlight artist, Little Eva. Born Tuesday, June 29, 1943 in Belhaven, North Carolina, Eva Narcissus Boyd was the 10th of 13 children of David and Laura Boyd. The Boyds were a religious family, where Eva's grandfather was a minister in a local church. Boyd had ambitions of becoming a singer. She listened to all genres of music on the radio: gospel, R&B, and country. Eva and four of her siblings formed a gospel group, calling themselves the Boyd Five. During the summer of 1959, Eva traveled to Brooklyn, New York to visit her oldest brother Jimmy and his wife during the school break. She returned to Belhaven for a spell, quit school, and found herself a job as a maid in Hempstead, Long Island in 1960. Eva's sister-in-law was friends with singer Earl G. McCrea of the Cookies, an established New York girl group formed in 1954. They did session work for Atlantic Records and was introduced to Ray Charles, later forming their own group as the Raylettes in 1958. By 1961, a new lineup of the Cookies emerged, consisting of Dorothy Jones, Earl G. McCrea, and Margaret Ross. The trio began making demos and provided background work for artists like Neil Sedaka and his hit song, Breaking Up Is Hard to Do.
Comma, down, doobie-doo, down, down. Breaking up is hard to do.
The Cookies were now under the direction of songwriters Carole King and her husband Jerry Goffin. Both were associated with the Al Don Music Publishing Company, founded by Don Kirshner and Al Nevins in New York in 1958. With a growing family in tow, Carole King decided to hire a nanny. In the meantime, the Cookies were in search of a new member. Cookies member Earl G. McCrea suggested to Eva to apply for both jobs. Boyd did so by winning the Cookies audition by performing the Shirelles' hit, Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?
But will you love me tomorrow?
And was hired by Carole King as the new nanny and moved to the couple's apartment in Sheepshead Bay, Brooklyn, by sharing a room with King's baby Louise, while Carole gave birth to a second daughter, Sherry, soon afterwards. As a living nanny, Eva received $35 a week. In March 1962, Eva joined the Cookies in a 4-song Benny King session, including Gloria Gloria and Don't Play That Song You Lied.
Darling, I love you.
You know that you lie.
Darling, I love you.
Around this time, Philadelphia artist Dee Dee Sharp charted a #1 R&B dance tune called The Mashed Potato Time in April of 1962. Don Kirshner asked songwriters Goffin and King to come up with a similar tune to The Mashed Potato Time to give to Dee Dee Sharp as a follow-up. While Carole King was working out the melody on the piano at home, Eva, while watching King's daughter Louise, began to dance a certain motion dance and sing at the same time, which prompted Carole to come up with the lyrics. Afterwards, Jerry and Carole asked Eva to record a demo of the song after hearing her sing. The session took place at Dick Charles Recording Studios in New York and produced by Jerry Goffin. The song was entitled The Locomotion. Don Kirshner listened to the demo and loved what he heard. He decided not to give it a Dee Sharp after all, but instead release it just as is, as a single. Goffin and King rushed Eva to Mirror Sound Studios on 57th Street in New York to re-record the Locomotion, but was unable to capture the fabulous sound from the original demo. So additional background vocals were added to the original demo by Carole King and Eva Boyd. Now dubbed as Little Eva, who was named after her aunt and who stood less than 5 feet tall, the Locomotion, back with He Is the Boy,
He is the boy that I love. Yes, he is. Oh, now. Yes, he is.
was issued on Don Kirshner's Dimension label in June of 1962. The song hit #1 R&B on Billboard's Hot R&B sides on August 25th of 1962 and #1 pop also on August 25th of the same year. Within a month, Little Eva became an overnight sensation and the country's brightest new singing star as the Locomotion continued to sweep the nation.
Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I know you get to like it if you give it a chance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion.
She made an appearance on the ABC TV show American Bandstand to lip sync and illustrate the required dance steps to go along, which incidentally were her own creation.
Locomotion with me. You gotta swing your hips now. Come on, baby, jump up, jump back. Well, I think you got the night.
A self-titled album, Locomotion, was recorded and rush released to capitalize on Little Eva's newfound fame in 1962. Produced by Jerry Goffin, orchestra conducted by Carole King, arrangements by Carole King and Claude Ugerman, with the exception of one standard song, I Have a Love, composed by Leonard Bernstein and Stephen Sondheim from West Side Story.
I have a love, and it's all that I need.
Little Eva was even eulogized in a song by a group called the Locomotions called Little Eva on Gone Records, released in March of 1963. In the spring of 1963, Little Eva made her first trip overseas to Great Britain, sharing the billing with Brian Hyland. Eva also toured Paris to perform, but sadly her father passed away while she was in France. So she returned back to the States. Little Eva continued to tour the U.S. on Dick Clark's Caravan of Stars on Sunday, November 17, 1963, in Elkhart, Indiana, with Brian Hyland, Linda Scott, Jimmy Clanton, the Essex, the J Nets, the Ronettes, the Dixie Bells, Dale and Grace, Joe Perkins, Donald Jenkins and the Delights, plus added attractions, the Dovells, Paul and Paula, and the Times, with Myron Lee and the orchestra. The tour took place 6 days before the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy on Friday afternoon, November 23, 1963.
Don't crawl, he's a king.
The Dimension imprint released Little Eva's follow-up single, Keep Your Hands Off My Baby, back with Where Do I Go, in October of 1962, charting #6 R&B on December 8th and #12 pop on December 22nd of the same year.
Keep your hands off my baby. Where do I go after you go away?
Little Eva's label mates and friends, The Cookies, released their own hit single on Dimension entitled Chains, with Little Eva joining in the unison lead vocals. Chains, back with Stranger in My Arms, charted number 17 R&B on December 15 of 1962.
Chains. My baby's got me locked up in chains, and they ain't the kind that you can see.
During this time, Jerry Goffin and Carole King composed a song under the guidance of Phil Spector called He Hit Me and It Felt Like a Kiss. Goffin and King wrote the song after they discovered that Little Eva was constantly being beaten by her boyfriend. When they asked her why she tolerated such treatment, Eva simply replied that her boyfriend's actions were motivated by his love for her. Oh my God.
He hit me, and it felt like a kiss. He hit me, but it didn't hurt me.
He Hit Me received little airplay because of the violent content, with many protesting that the song was an endorsement of spousal abuse. Carole King said in a radio interview that she was sorry that she ever had anything to do with the song, since being a survivor of domestic violence herself, not from her first husband, but afterwards. Soon afterwards, Little Eva married her longtime boyfriend, James Harris, in 1962.
He hit me, and I knew he loved me.
You know, talent runs in the family, as Little Eva's babysitting job was replaced by her youngest sister, Idalea Boyd, but she returned back to North Carolina to finish her senior year in high school. Idalea made a brief visit to New York that winter of 1962 and spent a few days rehearsing at Don Kirshner's house and recorded the Goffin King Keller song Hula Hop, with Little Eva contributing background vocals. Hula Hop, back with Some Kind of Wonderful, was issued in February of 1963 on Dimension.
Here's to Dee Dee and the way she does the hula hop. Here's to Dee Dee and the way she does the hula hop. And something happens to me. Wonderful. That's some kind of wonderful.
The Dimension imprint issued more singles on Little Eva, starting with Let's Turkey Trot, back with Down Home, number 16 R&B on March 9th, 1963, her last charted R&B single.
Come on, let's turkey trot. Let's get it while it's hot. Down home,
Her uncredited background vocals with singer Big D. Irwin, formerly of the Pastels, with Swingin' on a Star, back with Another Night with the Boys, 1963.
Would you like to swing on a star? Oh, carry moonbeams home in a jar. Oh, why must I spend
why must I spend
another night
another night with the girl?
Oh, Smoky Locomotion, back with Just a Little Girl, 1963.
On top of a buggy, it was quiet before, but since they learned the locomotion, it ain't quiet no more. I'm just a little girl, but I feel a woman's love.
What I Gotta Do to Make You Jealous, back with The Trouble with Boys, 1963.
Oh, what I gotta do to make you jealous? What I gotta do to make you mad? The trouble with boys is you never really know when. You can't believe a word they've said.
Once again, backing vocals on Big D. Irwin with Happy Being Fat, back with Soul Waltzing, 1963.
I'm happy being fat. I like the weight I'm at. Let's do some soul waltzing. Soul waltzing. Come on, baby, it's a dance that was made to order for romance. Don't you wanna take a
Let's start the party again. Back with Please Hurt Me, 1963.
Well, come on, everybody, let's start the party again. If you gotta hurt somebody, please hurt me.
Now credited with Big D. Irwin, the classic Nat King Cole holiday remake of the Christmas song. Back with I Wish You a Merry Christmas, 1963.
I'm offering this simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. I wish you a Merry, Merry Christmas. I wish you a Merry, Merry, I wish you a Merry Christmas.
Once again uncredited with Big D. Irwin with Hi Ho. Back with I Want So Much For You to Know, 1964.
Let me tell you hi-ho, hi-ho, to make your troubles gone. If you walk out the door, I won't see you no more. And I want so much to know you.
Wake Up John, back with Taking Back What I Said, 1965. One of her last singles on Dimension.
Wake up, John, and tell me that you really love me. Taking back what I said, rather be dead than to go on loving you.
In 1964, Little Eva was asked to partake in an animated novelty dance tune called Making with the Magilla, an ode to the popular 1964 Hanna-Barbera cartoon Magilla Gorilla. Back with Run to Her, Making with the Magilla became one of the most memorable novelty songs among cartoon fans all over the world. Background vocals were provided by the Cookies. Throughout her career at Dimension, Little Eva continued to cut demos for Goffin and King to help sell their songs to other artists and producers. One Fine Day was one such song. When the song reached the singer group The Tokens of the Lion Sleeps Tonight fame and who became the producers of the tune, legend has it that they erased Eva's voice and overdubbed the Chiffon's vocals on top. Well, One Fine Day became a smash, charting number 6 R&B on July 13th, 1963, and number 5 pop July 6th.
One fine day, you're gonna want me for your girl.
Well, being a pragmatic professional artist, Eva showed no signs of bitterness and missing a million seller.
One fine day, you're gonna want me for your girl.
In 1965, Don Kirshner sold the Dimension label to Columbia Records. Little Eva moved to Amy Records and issued one single, Benny King's 1961 Atco classic hit, Stand By Me, back with That's My Man in 1966. Little Eva was also featured as an uncredited vocalist on Jimmy Handyman Jones' masterpiece remake of Huey Piano Smith's Don't You Just Know It on Parkway Records in 1966. That same year, Eva recorded 2 singles on Creed Taylor's Verb label with Just One Word Ain't Enough, back with Bend It.
Just one word from you, boy, is all I'm asking for.
take a step in my direction, back with Everything Is Beautiful About You Boy in 1967.
Take a step in my direction. I'm gonna show you so much affection. Everything is beautiful about you, boy.
With non-support and no generating hits for the previous labels, Little Eva spent most of her time working the club circuit to earn a living to support her 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. In 1968, Eva inked a deal with Spring Records, billed as Little Eva Harris, her married surname, issuing a dance melody of 2 Motown classics from 1966, The Temptations' Get Ready / Stevie Wonder's Uptight, back with Mr. Everything, released in July of 1968. Two more issues on Spring include the Shirelles' 1962 hit remake of Mama Said, back with Something About You Boy in 1969, and Night After Night, back with once again Something About You in 1970.
Night after night is the same old song.
Bell Records released a promotional copy of the Locomotion, back with Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow in 1972.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. But will you love me tomorrow?
Around 1971, Little Eva was experiencing a period of bad luck and sadness. Her mother, Laura Boyd, had passed away, her career had waned, her husband was stranded, and she had no money in her account. With 3 children to support, Eva quit the music business and returned back to her hometown in Belhaven, North Carolina to live, and decided to put the unhappy time spent in New York behind and start all over again. She took menial jobs and occasionally needed welfare assistance. But just as soon as she tried to get rid of her musical past, it would soon return. The legacy of the Locomotion lingers on as Little Eva's version re-entered the UK charts in 1972. Popular rock band Grand Funk Railroad remade Locomotion and charted it all the way to the #1 position on May 4th, 1974 on Billboard's Top 100. Little Eva, totally oblivious, lived in obscurity and found God and became a churchgoer. She also tried to patch up an unhappy marriage. Years later, husband James Harris died in 1983. In 1988, once again, the Locomotion re-enters the charts, becoming a worldwide hit by Australian singer Kylie Minogue, gaining interest in the media to the whereabouts of the originator of the song, Little Eva. The media tracked her down, working in a soul food restaurant called Hansy's Grill. With multitudes of press coverage, Eva decided to return to showbiz. She recorded a gospel album entitled Back on Track on the Malibu imprint in 1988. When asked about the Kylie Minogue remake of the Locomotion, Little Eva quoted as saying, "Her version revival is alright, but it ain't no better than mine. You can't prove on perfection. The Locomotion is a great song, but it ain't no Amazing Grace." Little Eva was disgusted over the industry practices that kept her from receiving what she rightfully earned.
Come on, baby, jump up, jump back. Well, I think you got the knack.
The prevailing rumor that circulated in the 1970s was that Little Eva received only $50 for her recording of the Locomotion. Plus, sadly, a minimum weekly studio salary at the time she made other recordings. Little Eva continued to perform, touring the UK on an all-star bill with Little Richard. Her last show was a star charity event to raise funds to help pay the medical bills of alien legendary singer Laverne Baker.
Come on, baby, jump up, jump back.
Eva was diagnosed with cervical cancer in October of 2001. She sadly passed away on Thursday, April 10, 2003 in Kingston, North Carolina at the age of 59. Eva is buried in a small cemetery in her hometown in Belhaven. It was reported that there were deteriorating conditions at the cemetery by a local TV station, WRAL, in Raleigh, North Carolina. A white cross had marked her site until a new gravestone was unveiled in November 2008. Eva's new gravestone has the image of a steam locomotive engraved on the front. Her epitaph reads, "Singing with the Angels." Rest in peace, Eva.
We've been friends for oh so long.
You know, the musical legacy of Little Eva is indeed like a steam locomotive that continues to gain intense speed down the tracks, powered by a combustion of talent, grace, and dedication. Let's just be thankful that the music outlives the woman. Until we meet again musically, I am the Chancellor of Soul.
Everybody's doing a brand new dance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. I know you'll get to like it if you give it a chance now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion.
Soul Facts, a show written, created, produced, and copywritten by the Chancellor of Soul, Mike Boone, and is a non-profit music presentation.